Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, July the 12th, 2023. Wednesday, July the 12th. Well, we have let's see what's going on here. My first picture, Summer and Danny, Daniel are talking, pretty much she's telling him her marriage is done and she saw Phyllis and she goes, Mom said she felt somewhat responsible for what happened. And Daniel looked at her and she looked at him. She says, I know. And I told her she was responsible. And he goes, Ooh, I bet that went over well. She goes, I love my mom. I love mom, but she's created a mess of my life, right? I need her to get back here. I need her to get cleared so I can finally move forward, move past this to see whatever direction my life is going to go in, right? And so Danny was saying that, he completely understood, because she goes, I've lied. I've just made a mess of my whole marriage. And Daniel says, well, I can relate. I completely understand to messing up a marriage, because he messed up his family, right? So, they finally weren't sniping or on each other's nerves with their conversation. They were talking like brother and sister. So now we have, let's see what's going on here. My next picture, moving day. It's moving day. We've got Devon and Abby pretty much moving all the final stuff out of the house, packing up what he's going to take. He left all the furniture there. But he took some of his pictures off the wall, personal things he took. But he did leave the picture of Neil because in reality, he probably made a copy of it, right? And he'd have the same picture at his place of Neil. And he left some of Neil's jazz albums and the record player because he could get another record player and he would have the same, he could reorder those vintage jazz albums, right? Or some of them he just left for Lily so she could have, from Neil. So that was nice. And they go to society, they meet Lily there, and they do the proverbial passing of the keys, the proverbial turning over of the keys. So that was a nice scene. And Lily was so happy, she's excited about the move. She says, I've always liked your place, or really looked at your place. I mean, just loved your place. And she says, plus she was actually ready to move on from the place that she and Billy had together. So this was going to be great for her. So Devon had some kind of comment regarding seeing Daniel later, and she's looking like, well, I don't know if I'm going to see Daniel later. Daniel has a meeting. Or he asked, how come Daniel didn't? Because something he asked, and she goes, no, Daniel had a business meeting. She goes, oh, I'm sure you'll see him later. And she kind of looked at him like, yeah, okay. So she gets to her new place and Daniel's already in it, already has roses up and some champagne and, and so she's like, how did you get in here? He said, well, I had an insight from the owner, you know? And so she laughed and she goes, that must have been what the comment Devon made about I was going to see you later. And so they danced and had champagne and, next thing you know, they're heading upstairs, christening the place, So now, mind you, the actress is pregnant in real life, but Lily's kids are grown and in college, actually finishing college. Maddie's going to be a doctor, so she's going to have 4 more years after this. Charlie is, I think, a filmmaker or a writer or whatever. So he's going to be done, if not done already, with college. So Lily don't need to be having no more kids, period. And she doesn't have any reproductive organs to have any kids because they were removed with the cancer, right? So They better not have any stupid writing this, but no, they don't. Lily does not need to have a baby. That's just something that doesn't need to happen. Neither does Daniel. Nobody, they're at grandparent age, especially Lily. So anyway, it was cute seeing everybody, ready to go on with their new chapters in their lives. And then we had Summer gets a call because Chelsea makes her decision, and Billy's happy with it. He's happy with this decision. She's going to be working in the same building as him. She's thrilled. So she calls Summer, and Summer says, I hope this is what I'm thinking you called me for what I think it is. And Chelsea says, I've given your name. I mean, your proposal, job proposal, some thought, and I have decided I'm going to take it. And Summer was so happy. She says, finally, something is going my way, like something's going right. So she was so happy with Chelsea, and she told her she can't wait and she's going to talk to her tomorrow. She is just so super thrilled, which is good. Because she said, my time with Omega Sphere, it is up. I mean, almost up. The game is launching. Her game is already designed. So her portion. So, she can put her attentions elsewhere. And she's not going to be the lead designer. She doesn't have to be a designer at all over the division she's over, because Summer was not a designer. They hired designers. Actually, the designer they hired is the designer that Chelsea gave them a recommendation to hire. So yeah, so that was good. Oh, no. When Chelsea quit Lauren, she gave Lauren, her and Chloe gave Lauren the name of the guy to do the designing to finish up the line. That's how that went. I don't know who my Summer got from Marchetti, because that was here nor there. Anyway, and Chelsea may have given her names for that too when she originally turned her down. So I just can't remember that small, minute detail. And then we have Sally. No, this was crazy. Sharon's talking to Adam. By the way, she had some lip work done. You notice that bottom lip is way more plumper, and the way she's trying to hold her mouth to get used to it, the new size, she had something done to her lip. But anyway, they're getting ready to change Sharon's. She got a whole new Sharon going on, from the way she's dressing now. And Sharon always sometimes kind of did dress like she's Faith's age. So Sharon is really going to be a new Sharon. And Adam is like, I don't know. Sharon, we have a good friendship going on here. And I don't want, this business thing to come into, it's taken us years. We've been friends for years, and I don't want it to ruin what we've had. And so she's like, it won't ruin it, Adam. This is business, and the only thing it would do is enhance it. And he goes, but I have a specific direction I'm going in, and I don't need to be sidetracked, And so he goes, you're just trying to have pity on me. She goes, that's not it. Are you trying to manage me? That's not it, right? So she says, look, you're media. Kirsten's company is technology. My company has the vehicle to move your product. We are an excellent match for you. An excellent match. So he's like, Sharon, he wasn't sold, right? So Nick is talking to Sally, and Sally finally said, no, I think working with Adam will help Adam, because Adam has no one. And at least he would have you. Adam is grieving and going through all of this all on his own. And Sally said, so, before I was upset, I was against it. She goes, I'm not. I think you are the best person to work with him, and I think you should do it. Right? So Nick was happy. He kind of got an endorsement from Sally on that. And speaking of Adam, he Devon and Abby were at society, and they're getting ready to go, and he's coming in, what toasting, what's happening, and they said, oh, they're moving into the Chancellor Mansion. And he goes, well, I hope you didn't force Chance out. And she goes, well, no, it was Chance's idea. We move in there. And he's thinking, wow, you guys really work well together. How magnanimous of him, right? And so he was saying that, and then Devon said, and Lily is moving into my penthouse. And so Devon says, well, what's Lily going to do with her place? Because I need a base of operation. I could take her place. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you get an office, Adam? McCall Unlimited is a conglomerate, big company. Get an office. Rent one from Nick's building. Because, see, understand, Chancellor Winters does not own that building. Nick owns the building they're in. That was his dark house when he had opened that company. He bought that building, and those were his offices. Well, the building has multiple floors. Adam needs to rent a floor for his company, because I can't see Nick coming over to that house and Sharon too. That's not a professional environment. Get a place. Get a place. That's what you're thinking. You're talking about what's Lily going to do with her place. Lily's place is not the only real estate in Genoa City. Adam, you're a millionaire, multi. You mean to tell me you can't buy a place? You can buy a place, right? You're going to buy a house for Sally. Buy a place for you. Rent office space for your new company. But I guess that's too easy. So then later we got Nick coming back to Sharon's office. Office. Coffee. Well, look, coffee house is her office, right? She used it to, goodness gracious, analyze everybody coming in there. So he's saying that, yes, he decided he is going to, offer to work with Adam, right? And so Sharon says, well, we might be teaming up. And he goes, what are you talking about? She says, I offered the proposal for a merger of our companies, Adam's company and mine, because we have the technology to move his media. And Nick says, that's interesting. So she says, so we all just might be working together. And I thought that actually, to me, is going to make a pretty, if they do it right, that could be a pretty interesting storyline and a pretty interesting dynamic. That really could. I could see that. But what I don't know how things are going to be affected is, realistically, everybody, we have a writer's strike that started May 2nd. Soap operas are 2 months in advance. So June 2nd, July 2nd, we should have run out of material, or be running out of material like right now. We should be running out of material for the soap. So I don't really know what they're going to do. I mean, the soap's going to go off the air, because for sure, even if they haven't run out of material, with the announcement of the strike last Thursday, for sure, 2 months from now, there's not going to be anything new, because the strike happened. And for sure, the soap opera stars definitely are on strike too. So this is going to be interesting. This is really, really going to be interesting. So that is it for Wednesday, July the 12th. Let's go. I have one comment in comment corner. LaShanta says, I'm over Sally. How does Chelsea leave Daniel to work for Summer? I'm glad my girl is back, meaning Phyllis. Turn yourself in. Why would Billy tell her to leave, meaning Summer? You leave, Jabot. Yeah, I know. He told Summer, go back to Milan and get some folks. And then why would Summer consult Diane? Jack, have a seat. You're right, LaShunta. So that's it for Comic Corner. Comic Corner. I will be back for another daily recap of The Young and the Restless.